peeps, and welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing one of my digital sketchbooks with you, but before we get into that, I would like to give a shout out to Merriment Illustrations, who is the comment of the week. Thank you so much for your comment. I really like reading all those comments, and if you would like to be the comment of the week, all you have to do is comment under any video. That could have been you. I also have a Patreon and an Etsy shop, which I just updated, and last week's video was about that update if you want to check that out, or if you want to check the Etsy shop out itself. Links are in the description below. But anyways, like I said, this is my digital sketchbook. I work on Procreate on the iPad, and there's this thing called Page Assist where you can group pages together. So they're kind of like pages in a sketchbook, and I draw little things in there. So sometimes I don't want to put too much effort into a drawing, and I find that it takes some of the pressure off of me to just kind of call it a sketchbook, because I love sketchbooks. Sketchbooks for me are kind of a place where I can just chill out and draw whatever I want to draw. So I'm just kind of doing that digitally. This particular drawing is of my OC K-Mare. I have this thing that I do every year. I call it Fancy Schmancy Lents, where I draw one of my other OCs, but in a more refined, fancy looking style that I don't use super often. And last year I said I was going to start doing that with this character, and this was going to be that drawing, but then I kind of gave up on it. I kind of gave up on it mostly because I just didn't feel like finishing it. Maybe I'll try again before the year's out. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I do think it looks nice. I like the shading on the face. Particularly, I just didn't feel like shading the rest of his clothes, which, simple solution, crop them out and finish. But like I said, I kind of didn't feel like doing all that. So, yeah. But I will say, when I drew this particular drawing, I was kind of in a bit of a drawing rut, slump, something. I just wasn't feeling it, I was just not on it. And looking back at it, I think it's just I just wasn't feeling well, and that was contributing to the quality of my art, or rather the lack of. So that explains a lot. I do like how this drawing turned out, except for his clothes. Everything else looks fine, I think. This character is just really, really fun to draw, and I drew him again recently, and I feel like I did a much better job making him look fancy. But this is how this one turned out. Not too bad, all things considered, but maybe I will try again. Or maybe I won't. Who knows? Who knows what I'll do? This next drawing I shared already on my Instagram and on TikTok. It wasn't an interaction, but I had a really awkward, uncomfortable situation where I ran into someone at the store that I knew from work. He's a customer, a regular, and I was feeling super awkward about it all, because of course I was. I don't think he noticed me at all, though, so everything was fine. Everything was okay. But that whole interaction, I thought it was kind of funny, and I felt like it would be an interesting interaction to try to draw. So I did it with my OCs, Myra and Lentz. In reality, not reality, but based off how these characters are, their personalities and things, I actually think it should be reversed. I feel like Lentz, the tall guy, I feel like he should be the one that's feeling really uncomfortable and second guessing himself. Instead, I made that person Myra. I feel like it's uncharacteristic for her to be anxious and awkward about this sort of thing. I feel like she would be the type of person that would actually go up to him and say hi if she recognized him. But Lentz definitely wouldn't do that. Drawings like these are the reason why I love the digital sketchbook so much, because whenever I'm drawing, I notice this about myself, when I'm drawing in a digital format, I have to make it perfect and nice and polished. But for whatever reason, when I tell myself, oh, it's just a sketchbook, then it takes all the pressure off. So like the line art is not the smoothest line art in the world. And the background maybe isn't the best background in the world. But if I had this idea to draw this and didn't have this digital sketchbook, I don't think I would have ever drawn it, or it would have just remained in my physical sketchbook as a uncolored pencil sketch, which is fine too. This is how it turned out. I love the colors, I love the concept, and I think it's funny. This next drawing is a redraw of something from 2018. I completely forgot about this phase of my art where I was using a whole lot of pink and everything was kind of shiny looking. Not in the way that AI art is shiny, but, you know, kind of shiny. I don't know if anyone else has like noticed that. That's kind of like how I'm able to tell when art is AI or pictures AI, because it just has this weird like shiny quality to it. It's like an unnatural sheen. I can't really describe it. But anyways, when I drew this, I was still in my I'm kind of not feeling this whole drawing thing currently phase. So I kind of want to redraw the redraw because I feel like I can do a little bit better. Plus, I've made a few tiny updates to this character's design. This is Shanti. Yes, that was her old design. She has changed so much, not just her design but also her personality, her story, and everything. So that's really cool. She is a Star Wars OC, and originally she was going to be like a bounty hunter, like in a group of bounty hunters or whatever. But I changed that, so now she's like a tavern slash not tavern. I changed that too. Her family owns an inn. Because she wasn't going to be a bounty hunter anymore, I kind of changed some things about her character design to make her seem a little more homey, if that makes any sense. And I use a lot of warm colors for her outfits and things, but I also use purple at times. Which is another weird thing about the original design, is the colors are kind of all over the place. I feel like I've gotten a lot better with selecting colors and to use those colors to kind of tell you a little more about the character themselves. For example, for Myra, I use like a lot of pinks and stuff now to kind of give you an idea of what type of person she is. And for this particular character, I use a lot of muted colors and browns and stuff, but sometimes I will use purple. But anyways, this is how this turned out. I have feelings about it. I want to redo it, but it's okay. I can really tell when I'm starting to get into a drawing slump when I start to redraw stuff and revisit old concepts. So this particular drawing is of an old OC named Xena Tiala. She's like a really, really, really old OC. I think I came up with her when I was like 11. So, wow, this OC's been around for a while. But I kind of stopped drawing her because I kind of just dropped, not kind of, I definitely did drop the story that I was writing that included this character. It was like, oh my gosh. That's like my fan fiction days. Oh goodness. I'm like really glad I never posted any of that stuff online. Wow. Thank goodness. But I still like some of the characters that I came up with. However, I think I love this character a lot more than a lot of those other ones. So I may or may not incorporate her into the story with Kamir somehow. She was supposed to be like a pilot or something, so I don't know. But anyways, this is how it turned out. I love the colors. I'm so glad that I changed the design so she looks less like Ahsoka. And I think it's really cute, and I would like to explore this character a little more. As I mentioned earlier, I recently redesigned Shanti just a touch. This was one of those redesigns, but I've since redesigned this redesign. I will say a lot of these drawings are a couple of months old. About a couple months old. I took a little break from YouTube for my health or whatever, and so I'm kind of like catching up and sharing some of those drawings that I did whilst I was taking a break. So I still have to share the latest redesign. But I wanted to redesign her outfit because I felt like I don't know. I feel like some of my OCs have like an established style for their clothes. And for whatever reason, I'm having a little trouble with Shanti. Like, even now that I've like redesigned some stuff, I still feel like I'm still trying to work out what I want her outfits to look like. I have the color palette that I would like to use. It's just a matter of how am I going to get her personality to show in her clothes. But I feel like this one is okay, but I feel like I can still do some other things with it. This next drawing is yet another redraw of a character that is not mine. She's from a book about Darth Maul that I really, really loved when I was little or whatever. Her name is Daleen, and there's hardly any fan art of her anywhere, so I was like, you know what? I shall draw her. This was me back in the day when I had my original drawing that I drew. But I was, in this slump, so I was like, let me redraw the redraw. I can't remember if I looked at the original before I went and did this. I don't think that I did, but I can't remember. It's not super Star Wars forward. The only thing that is really connecting it to that original drawing are the colors. So part of me doesn't want to say that it's that particular character. And if I'm not mistaken, part of me didn't want to say the original drawing was of that particular character just because I felt like I could have done a little bit better and would have liked to change some things. Because there wasn't like a lot of descriptors of the character, just that she had dark hair and that she was human. So that could be interpreted in a lot of ways. And I feel like I could, if I tried, do a better job of, I don't know. Because I feel like the character that I came up with is fine, but I also feel like I could do different things to make it a little more exciting. Also exciting news, I finally was able to get a hard copy of that book from my childhood that I really, really loved. Really my teen years. I think I read it when I was like 13 or 14. But anyways, this is how it turned out. I do really like this one. It's one of my favorites from this particular batch of sketches. I realized that I didn't really draw my spider Sona again after I designed her that first time. Except for like one other time. I drew like a little cutesy version of her as a wallpaper type design that I ended up... I don't even think I shared it anywhere. Silly me. Well, no, I shared it on Patreon, but I meant to share it elsewhere and forgot, because of course I did. But this particular drawing is based off a sketch from my sketchbook that I'm now adding to my digital sketchbook. Wow, look at me. I like this pose a lot, and I was like, oh, what if her spider senses are going off or whatever. So yeah. I like looking at the spider Sona design now. I feel like I could do some things a little better, do a little changes to the colors. I do still like the idea of a wrap skirt to kind of, because, I'm Muslim, so I was like, if this is my spider Sona, she would be Muslim too. So I was trying to find ways for the suit to be modest while not copying, I believe it was Spider UK's design, so I came up with a wrap skirt idea, but I feel like there's some other things I could probably do to make the character modest. I don't know though. But anyways, this is what that looks like. I do like this drawing. That's my digital sketchbook. Wow, those are all the drawings I did. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Shout out to my patrons, Merriment Illustrations, Sister Donna55, Kelsey, and a Spooky Rose. Thanks so much for being my patrons. I really appreciate you and everything that you do. Wow. Oh my goodness. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please enjoy the rest of your day, my peeps.